millennials.
I'm Scott McLean in Madrid, Spain, and this is CNN. Working from home.
I think I might be finally adapting.
I've come to terms with this situation.
The notice came. My company is reopening. What does return to work even mean?
Nothing will ever be the same.
How do I social distance in the office?
How do I know I'm safe?
I am so tired of video conferences.
How do I bring this up with my boss?
I don't want to return. I like this work from home thing.
I've mastered the art of the Zoom video call. Here we go. I've got it right now. Where is the button? Yes, here we go. Right, I've definitely got this right. I know what I'm doing. Here we go. Push this button and... Hello and welcome to WFH New Reality. I'm Richard Quest. You join me again in the living room. This whole working from home business came upon us very unexpectedly and suddenly. And for the last 8 weeks or so, we've been getting used to it, learning how to do it. Now we are reopening, and there's a whole new set of challenges to face. Some of us will go back to the office. Many of us, though, will continue working from home, WFHers, for some time to come. We're going to be looking at the changes we should expect. For instance, what should you realistically be able to ask from HR? Can you demand to work from home? And business travel in the future? Masks, social distancing, is it possible? And how many of us are missing the... Fasten your seatbelts, please. So, in this last edition of WFH, New Reality, let's get to grips with how we can live this going forward over the summer. First things first, get some light on the equation. Over the time I've been doing this, I've got pretty good. Things that used to baffle me, I'm a lot better at than I was. Daylight? Tungsten daylight? For months now, we've got by. I can lower the tripod without trapping my fingers. This chair goes here. You get the idea. Working and living appropriately enough. At home. Living and...
Formative experience.
Marina Gorvis leads an organization whose job is solely focusing on the future. From home.
The question is, will employers carry that kind of flexibility? Will this become a norm?
No employer can or has ever guaranteed safety in the workplace.
I can always rely on Johnny Taylor, our HR expert, to tell it as it is. I'm going back into the workplace. It's that first day at school feeling all over again.
You took my words out of my mouth. That's exactly what we're thinking about. We've got to assure employees that we sanitize the workplace, that when they get there, there's going to be PPE, there'll be masks, there'll be gloves. Some companies are going so far as to take employees' temperature at the front door before they allow them to come into the workplace.
From an HR point of view, and we speculated about this a few weeks ago, when the employee comes up and says, I'm going to work from home Mondays and Fridays, and I'll be in the office the rest of the week.
An employer will say, if that's okay with me. That's the real answer. Employees can't determine and decide unilaterally what the terms and conditions of work are going to be, and that's always been the case.
Yes, but we've proven we can do this work from home thing. We've been productive, we've met our deadlines and our targets, we've done everything that was expected and asked.
So you can't just approach the boss. You have to do your research first.
Our career coach, Elizabeth Karaka, here to set us on the right path.
Who else in the company is working from home? What other companies in my industry are working from home?
Now, what is working, so you can talk about all the pros and cons, and what's not working, so you can troubleshoot those things that aren't working in case your boss brings it up.
So why can't I just continue? It's worked so far.
No. You want to have a strategy. You want to be that model employee right now. So your boss thinks, yeah, Richard is great at this. He would really help our business. You want to make it about the benefits for the business and the company, not your own personal benefits. It's all in the delivery, Richard. It's all in the delivery.
With high global unemployment, our bargaining power is not what it was.
I could fill those positions pretty damn quickly and maybe cheaply, or cheaper, right? 6 months ago, we had a seller's market. You were in control. So we've switched to a buyer's market. And you've got to figure out, are you willing to work in this environment under those conditions?
Of course, as the world begins to reopen, there is something else that comes to mind. Full throttle business travel. In this cupboard, along with the dozens of suits for Quest Means Business, are all the boarding passes that I've kept. I must have hundreds, if not thousands of them. I don't know why I keep them, I just do. I'm looking forward to going back on the road again. I miss my travelling life. The bag weighs 19.5 kilos, are you sure? The life of a business traveller. Going to bring the bag? All those comings and goings. Oh, let the flying begin. The time zone changes. A new country every week, sometimes several countries in a week. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I've arrived in Colombo in Sri Lanka. To be sure, we are not going to enjoy this kind of business travel anytime soon.
Business travel is the last thing that's going to recover.
I've caught up with fellow frequent traveller and aviation watcher Ben Schlappig, who writes 1 mile at a time. It's time to commiserate. What are you doing to stay sane as a traveller?
I mean, for one, I'm wearing my airline pajamas at home. I'm listening to airline boarding music. I have my Polaris blanket here. Very cozy.
Just a minute. Stand by. Okay, so.
Polaris bear, that's what I was about to get. But somehow I only have all these other ones. The Cathay Pacific bear.
Singapore Airlines bear.
It's in the other bag. I have an Emirates flight attendant, Lufthansa bear.
The airlines will not be the same as they were. They'll be a lot smaller. So with your experience and vast experience of travel, how do you expect that to look?
I think for the next few years, obviously demand is going to be way down. I think face masks are probably going to be the norm for a while. I don't think we're going to see this social distancing where the middle seats stay empty, because that's just not sustainable for airlines.
Everybody says it will be 2 to 5 years before traffic gets back to anything like what it was.
I really question if business travel will ever recover at least to pre-COVID levels. I think leisure traveler is going to first be what people are doing.
Ben is on to something. The Prime Minister of Greece hopes to salvage the country's summer tourism season with a cautious approach to welcoming foreign travellers. Sicily hopes to draw in tourists with discounted flights. Australia's announced a reopening plan, which includes tourism. And the European Commission has just produced its guidelines for how Europe can reopen its tourism industry. I saw some pictures of the way Dubai has set out the airport.
The check-in has been segregated. We've now got barriers separating people. We've got stickers on the floor to make sure that people don't breach the social distancing distances.
It's realistic right now when very few people are flying, but when we're talking about numbers actually recovering to what they were before 2020, it seems really unlikely that we're ever going to see social distancing.
Your article or your blog about boarding music, I'm going to sing one for you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you note by note.
Hear it. Rhapsody in Blue, United.
No, that was too easy for
They
you.
don't actually use that, though, for anything they should.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
We are going to reach up
with air travel but a dream. I think there are things moving that haven't moved in years. I settled in for the work from home long haul.
Yes, good.
And I'll enjoy a business lunch during the COVID lockdown at all the wrong times of the day. Amy, it's midnight for you. What have you got?
Well, I'm having my midnight snack, a Filipino dish.
The high street has never been quieter with COVID-19.
It's been a real treat and pleasure for me to invite you into the house every 2 weeks. And some of you have got various questions. For example, why are there so many boxes here? Well, the answer is simple. I was supposed to get married in the middle of March. And of course, that never happened. But Chris and I thought it would be unlucky to open any presents before we've actually got wed. So, here they all are. And I'm living in a warehouse, an Amazon warehouse. Many of you have asked about the pictures on the wall. Now, this is a particular favourite of mine. Gorgeous piece done by an artist friend of mine who's no longer with us. Some of you have liked that. And its companion piece is in the hall. I just bought it on an off chance, on an off day in the market in Union Square. I quite like this one. Thanks to our WFHers, many of you wrote wanting to join me for lunch. We'd have needed a banquet hall to fit you all in. We can't do that with social distancing. So my apologies if you weren't picked. Now join our WFHers for a working from home lunch. Now, who's got what for lunch? I have got this rather nice fish cake with some Israeli salad. I don't know what makes it Israeli more than anything else. And a bit of turkey chili, which is guaranteed to go right the way down my shirt. So I've got this instead. Amy, it's midnight for you. What have you got?
Well, I'm having my midnight snack, a Filipino dish. It's a noodle dish.
Yes.
And the brown one is our famous adobo, pork adobo.
Michael, what have you got?
I'm having jollof rice with plantain and chicken. And you know, the Nigerian jollof rice is said to be the best.
Folusho, no doubt, is going to retaliate with. What have you got for us?
Assorted beef in spicy sauce.
What have you got?
It's about time for our Shabbat dinner, our Sabbath meal. And so I thought it was most appropriate to have some challah, which is the bread that we have every Friday night. And then a great glass of...
7 or 8 weeks into this, we've all been this. How are you all coping?
I'm coping pretty well with this. I'm not missing the traffic of Manila. That's one thing I'm happy about it.
Fitz, you've not met your new team. You're in a new job.
I am.
New team on the other side of the Atlantic.
They try to do as much as possible to integrate me as part of the team in a lot of Zoom meetings. So it's been difficult, but actually as someone who would be remote anyway, in a way it's made it easier because everyone's remote, so everyone's on equal footing.
Folusho, you've got your own business. What's going to be your deciding fact whether you'll let somebody work from home?
What I'm going to do is have a hybrid workforce. Those who are really essential will be on ground, and I'm going to allow others to work from home.
If you had to take a positive from working from home and this new reality, Michael, what would it be?
For me, we normally talk a lot about work-life balance, right? But recently, we talk about work-life integration, and it's really shown that it's work-life integration, right? That work is basically our life, and life is our work. And it shows how we can integrate our work with our life, right, and get a lot of things done.
None of us wanted this. but we have to make the best of it. What would you describe as being the best that you've managed to make of it?
My productivity, my personal productivity has increased dramatically, in all honesty. I come...
Of course it has! All we're doing is work!
It's true. We have 4 kids at home. And so my home office happens to be in our bomb shelter in our basement. And I'm in my own world for a number of hours. I come up for lunch, I come up for dinner. So I've gotten a lot more done.
I challenge all of you that once things get back to something approaching whatever, we'll all be traveling again.
I'm still waiting for that time. I'm a very social person and really wanted to go places. Part of my work is really going to places and giving trainings. So that's one thing that I miss, and seeing people face to face.
I will disagree a bit. I think we will be traveling, but I don't think we'll be traveling as much. I think next time when we're about to travel, we'll think, can we do this on a video call? Do we really need to travel?
It will be a gradual process. I don't think I'll jump on the road like I used to. It will take some time.
Finally, by Christmas, Folusho, by Christmas, give me one thing that you hope you'll have achieved, or that there'll be a difference, or something will have happened by Christmas.
Well, by Christmas, it's my hope that all these lockdowns would be a thing of the past.
It's by Hanukkah.
By Hanukkah, I would hope to have met everyone in the office, getting back on the road, talk to clients and potential clients.
For me, I have a newborn baby, and I've not been able to spend time with the newborn baby because of the border closures. She's away from me in France, so I hope we can be together somewhere, anywhere in the world.
Those who are affected, who lost their jobs, to be able to at least find a way of getting up from however they have fallen down.
Let me thank you. It's been great.
It's our pleasure.
If you have one there. Working from home, your reality to the future.
The future.
I do enjoy working out, but I've not been able to do much in the last few weeks because COVID has left my chest a little inflamed, and I don't want to irritate and make things worse. Instead, I've been trying to look after the other parts of me. Yoga.
Ready to start our class?
Here we go.
So just close your eyes and start breathe in and breathe out. Let's try it 3 times. Inhaling through the nose.
Deep breaths to help me relax.
And then move again up.
Sorry, not so easy when I've just recovered from COVID-19. That's the remnants of the coronavirus.
And interlace your fingers and just bring him down. Front of you.
The legs are killing me.
We are going to reach up and then twist. Your left hand is going to over the right.
Right. I think there are things moving that haven't moved in years.
And reach arms up. And then just bring your head.
I've still got to do Quest Means Business. I'll be in no fit state.
And knee to chest.
This is very good.
Right leg, the right hand.
I'll admit it, I'm a yoga novice. Oh, where's your right foot? Priscilla makes it look so easy.
And now sit over your heels. Just sit there.
It hurts.
And try to lean your forehead to the ground. Yes. Reach arms up. Great. Just grab your knees and then just stretch your legs.
Well, they always say it's better to try and get something than not try at all.
Exactly. You were good.
It was a rough start, but I think I found the work from home gadget that I never knew I needed. Ooh, rough. variety of them here. I like a bit of lavender. Doesn't smell very strong. They all smell the same. They all smell the same after a while. So, off. So, here we go. Plug the thing in. Pour a couple of lavender drops. We filmed the first part of that some weeks ago, and I thought, well, I'll never really use that gadget. But then one day I saw it lying there, switched it on, fired it up, and off we went. And I've loved it ever since. Definitely 2 thumbs up. And that's it for WFH, working from home, new reality. But not before, if I may say,